Hello Dogs fans, welcome to another episode of After the Dogs Roar for season 2016. Now this episode is for after round 23 and another massive episode coming up for you this week. On this episode I'll be looking back at what was a disappointing game against Fremantle. I'll also be giving you my votes for that game in the After the Dogs Roar Best and Fairest Award. This week it will include a leaderboard, so you'll get to see for the first time in many months who is leading the After the Dogs Roar Best and Fairest Award. We've also got a stats wrap up for after round 23, the final stats wrap up for 2016, so you'll see who wins the leading goal kickers, disposals, marks and tackles. I'm going to be wrapping up our VFL round 21 clash, which was between Collingwood at Whitten Oval on Saturday. I'll also be looking at the final ladder and then looking towards our first week of finals in the VFL, which is this weekend. It's very exciting in the VFL at the moment, I can tell you that. I'll be doing the flashback segment for the last time this year. I'll be flashing back to a classic game. It was last year, round 5 v the Swans at the SCG. I'll be looking back at that game a little bit later on in the show, and then I'll be ending the show with what's on during the bye round. We know that there is a bye round this week before week 1 of the finals. There is still a fair bit on, obviously not as exciting as the finals itself, but there is a fair bit on that you can engage in and watch. So anyway, let's get straight into our AFL clash v the Dockers, which was on Sunday. Okay, so in our last home and away game of season 2016, we travelled to Domain Stadium in Perth to take on Fremantle for the second time this season. Of course, we beat this mob in round 1 at Etihad Stadium pretty convincingly. This was Matthew Pavlich's last game as a Fremantle Docker and for his AFL career. So Fremantle were playing for that factor, and we were playing to give us a little bit of a chance to improve our spot on the ladder and try and get a home final. But of course that was soon knocked out of position when Hawthorn defeated Collingwood in the game before ours. Now, it would have been nice to win this, but we didn't play so good, to be honest. You know, we were down at quarter time. We were down at every change. We only kicked one goal in the second half. It was kind of a low-scoring scrap, to be honest. It wasn't the best game we've ever played. In fact, it was probably up there as one of the worst this year, to be honest. Just the fact that it was so low-scoring and that we weren't really able to score much. Neither was Fremantle, really, but what made this game was that we were playing catch-up footy for most of it. Even though it was close, sort of, we were sort of playing catch-up footy because it was just hard to score at various points. I think it was windy over there too, to be honest. But yeah, it wasn't a great game. It was quite low scoring. It was a bit disappointing. It would have been great to win this. Of course, last year we lost our last game of the season at the Gabba, and unfortunately we've dropped our last game of the season again, our last home and away game of the season again this year. The final score, Fremantle 10-9-69, defeated the Dogs 6-13-49. The goal kickers for us, Dixon kicked 3, Smith kicked 2, Dalehouse kicked a single, and then the best players, Boyd, Picken, Johannesson, Dalehouse, Bontempelli and Dixon. And yeah, I was a bit disappointed with our performance, but I'm not going to dwell on it too much because you know, even if we did win, it wouldn't have improved our position on the ladder. But also, yeah, it would have been nice to win because we are going back there in a couple of weeks you know, playing a final there. And the one factor that I got out of this game is that we probably didn't use the ground very well. We got lost on the ground, in my opinion. I think that's something that we've always done, is get lost on the ground. And, you know, it was something we did last year when we played there, and we've done it again this year. We just get lost on the ground so easily because it's so wide. It's so different to playing at places like Etihad, MCG, etc. It's just so wide. So we really did get lost on this ground, and I guess the positive that comes out of this game is that we can now learn from this. You know, the Dogs can go into a review now, you know, figure out what went wrong, and then be able to try and tackle them and fix them in the game against the Eagles, of course, in our elimination final. So it's not all negatives. I know a lot of people have been, I know a lot of Dog supporters, which is disappointing, have been quite negative about this loss and saying that our finals, you know, our finals is over. Our finals chances are over, our season's over. That's not the case at all. We've just put together a real bad performance. You know, we'll get Stringer and stuff back next week. Hopefully Wood comes back, and hopefully we can go over to Domain Stadium again against the Eagles with a better performance than that, because that wasn't really a very good performance, to be honest. But there's not all negatives, you know. There is a couple of positives to take out. It's good that it's happened now, and it's good that we've got a bit of a rehearsal for when we go back over there in a couple of weeks. So just, you know, just think of the positives. Also, don't think of the negatives too much, or don't underestimate this side, because, you know, we're better than that. We are better than that performance, and, you know, our finals are still alive. It's, you know, our finals hopes, our chances in the finals are no doubt still alive. So just don't be too negative about this loss. It's a bad loss, we know. But let's not be too negative. Okay, time now to have a look at my votes for the After the Dogs Royal Best and Fairest Award for round 23 v the Dockers. I start with my one vote. I've given it to Josh Dunkley. He was impressive, I thought, on Sunday. 2 votes to Tory Dixon, kicked 3 goals. His work rate was quite impressive on Sunday. I was quite happy with how he performed, so he gets 2 votes, and then 3 votes had to go to Matthew Boyd. He was the best on ground for sure in terms of the Dogs, and he definitely deserves the 3 votes. So that is my votes. Let's go now to the leaderboard for the first time in a couple of months. Okay, so here is the leaderboard after round 23, and you can see there that Marcus Bontempelli, you might remember Lockie Hunter actually had the lead the last time you saw the leaderboard. Now Marcus Bontempelli has the lead. He has a 10-vote lead over Matthew Boyd, who is on 15. Lockie Hunter's on 13, and then Luke Dalehouse is there on 10. And then you've got a few other players behind there as well, rounding out the leaderboard. It's going to be hard to see Marcus Bontempelli get caught now. In fact, Matthew Boyd has to get 3 votes in every single game, and we have to get to the grand final, so we have to play 4 games, and Matthew Boyd has to get 3 votes in every one of those games for him to catch Marcus Bontempelli. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't think that will happen. Well, I don't think Matthew Boyd will poll 3 votes in every single game, or if we do make the grand final in every one of those games, whether we make the grand final or not is another story. But yeah, I think Marcus Bontempelli's won it from here, but let's save our breath. Of course, the voting hasn't stopped. I will be giving votes in every game we play in the finals, so the votes will stop after our last game. Okay, Dogs fans, time to do the stats wrap-up for the last time in season 2016. Let's go. I'll start with the leading goal kickers, and Jake Stringer, he is the winner of the leading goal kickers for our club. He wins on 37 goals, and 7 goals behind him is Tory Dixon on second. Marcus Bontempelli in third on 22 goals. Jack Redpath is on 20 in fourth, and joint fifth is Tom Liberatore and Lin Jong on 13. We then have the leading disposals. Lockie Hunter has won the disposals. He has led for quite a while now, and he's held on, and he's been able to win pretty convincingly, to be honest, on 634 disposals. Matthew Boyd is second on 557. Marcus Bontempelli on third with 440 disposals. Liam Pickett in fourth on 501 disposals. And then rounding out the top 5 is Jack McRae on 486. We then have the leading marks. Matthew Boyd this time round has beaten Lockie Hunter. Of course, you just saw that Lockie Hunter beat Matthew Boyd in the leading disposals. Well, Matthew Boyd has beaten Lockie Hunter in the leading marks. Matthew Boyd has won on 146 marks. It was quite close last week, so he's held on. He's been able to win. Lockie Hunter second on 134. Easton Wood in third on 104, Shane Biggs in fourth on 99, and then Liam Picken rounds out the top 5 on 97. And then finally the leading tackles, we have Marcus Bonampelli win the leading tackles on 107. Liam Picken is in second on 93. Tom Liberatore in third on 92. And then joint fourth is Luke Dalehouse and Jack McRae on 86. So there you have it. The stats wrap up for season 2016. That is your winners. And I hope you enjoyed this segment, by the way. It is good in my opinion. I find it interesting to look at who's leading what in our club at the end of each and every round. So I hope you enjoyed this segment. And then looking at the final ladder, you can see there that we have finished 7th on the AFL ladder for 2016. And you can see there that we'll be versing the West Coast Eagles in a away elimination final. Okay, time now for our VFL Round 21 overview. We took on Collingwood at Whitten Oval on Saturday at 12 p.m. This was our last game of the home and away season. Very exciting. In fact, our Footscray VFL side has been in ripper form coming into the leading into the finals. I must say they have been absolutely outstanding. Collingwood actually is a top team, another top team they're versing. They've been versing some top teams over the last few weeks or the last month or so. Of course, Casey Scorpions, Williamstown, another one, and this was another one of them. We're at home, so we had the advantage at home. Didn't get off to the great start. Collingwood led 4-5-29 to 1-2-8, so Collingwood led by a few goals, but we were able to get back in the second quarter and kick about 6 odd goals with 2 behinds and leads, 7-4-46 to Collingwood, 5-7-37. They only kicked 1 goal and 2 behinds in that quarter, so we no doubt outscored them and took the half-time lead. At three-quarter time was a 10-point margin in our favour. The Dogs led 10-8-68 to Collingwood, 8-10-58. And in the last quarter, we were able to kick 6 goals again like we did in the third quarter and win the match pretty convincingly, to be honest. The final score 16-9, 105, defeating Collingwood 10-13-73. And a very great win, a good win, a much-needed win going into the finals, no doubt about it, because we've been on a great roll the last month or so, as I mentioned. And yeah, let's get into the goal kickers. The goal kickers for the Footscray Dogs. Dale kicked 3, Austin kicked 3, Hannon kicked 2, Stadley also kicked 2, Jamison, Long, Hamilton, Stringer, Nash and Lynch kicked singles. You would expect Stringer, by the way, to be there in our elimination final clash at Domain Stadium Thursday week against the Eagles. The best players for us, Dale, Jamison, Hannon, Adcock, Stringer and Stadley, all getting in the best players. So our VFL side in ripper form going into the first week of the finals, which is this weekend. Okay, so let's wrap up the home and away season of the VFL with the ladder. We've actually been able to scrape into 4th place with that win against Collingwood. Collingwood were actually top of the table last week, so they've fell to second, Casey Scorpions first, and we've been able to scrape into the top 4, which means we get a double chance going into the finals. So you can see there, we are on 48, and Geelong, Port Melbourne are behind us, 4 points behind us there on 5th and 6th. So great end to the VFL season, and going into the finals, we've got a lot of hope in our VFL side because we have been performing in some great clashes and have been playing some great games over the last month or so, as I mentioned. Okay, so as I mentioned before, the first week of the VFL final starts this week, and our first final will be against the Casey Scorpions, top of the table Casey Scorpions, on Saturday the 3rd of September at 2 p.m. at Casey Field. So if you live in Melbourne, then you really have no excuse to not go to this game. This is a qualifying final. I believe that our VFL side has a great chance of making the grand final. In fact, I'm going to tip it here. I reckon they'll be there on the last day in the VFL competition. I reckon the way they've played the last month or so is just been extraordinary. And they beat Casey Scorpions the last time round. I think it was at Whitten Oval off memory, but we've got a very good chance of going through and having the week off and getting into a preliminary final straight up in this game. So if you live in Melbourne, please go to this game because there's no football on Saturday in terms of AFL. Our Western Bulldogs side have got a bye, so go along. I'm sure our senior side will be there to support our VFL side, and good luck to our VFL side. I hope they win, and I hope we have a very good run in the VFL finals because it would just be so good to get a second VFL flag in a matter of 3 years. So a very good final coming up there against the Casey Scorpions. Get along to it. I'll be not getting along to it because I live in Tasmania, but I will be staying tuned. I will be refreshing the Twitter feed and making sure that I stay up to date with the scores. Okay, time now to get into the last of our flashbacks for season 2016. This is the third week that the segment has been running, and this will be the final week of the segment. And, well, I'm going out with a bang because I'm going to be reviewing one of the classic games of the modern era, and that was last year's Round 5 clash v the Swans at the SCG. Now, you might remember our pre-season, it was a bit bumpy. Of course, we had our coach sacked, and then we also had Ryan Griffin leave the club and go to GWS. We had, of course, the controversy of Tom Boyd signing a multi-million-dollar deal with the club that pre-season as well, which sparked a little bit of criticism. And there was a lot of other things going on as well. But I tell you what, we had won our first 2 games of 2015. We lost our Round 3 game. And no one was really sure what was going to happen in this game. I think everyone kind of tipped the Swans. The Swans were strong favourites, let's face it, in this game. But I tell you what, we came out and produced one of the best performances we had produced for quite some time. So let's relive the Round 5 clash v the Swans in 2015 AFL season. Leading the call is Anthony Hudson.
It was very swift for a ruckman there from Cordy. Well played. But they overwhelm them, Adam Goods. This will get a big roar for the Sydney fans. And they can roar now because he's put it through.
It is a little bit slippery down there, and rain is looming. It's going to come, boys, so let's hope it stays away. Jetta
kicks it in deep. Oh, Franklin was pretty much the last man standing. He, again, took a long time to kick, but when he did, it's gone through. Dalhouse is digging in, gets the Dogs back to the wing. Big contest here, Boyd and Grundy. That's another example of what you were talking about with the kick down the line. Now, Shaw might have some issues here, some concerns. He has to wait, anxious moment, and turn the body, but missed his man. Rampy now has to follow it up. And Kramer has got a huge chance, which he takes with that left boot of his. Deadly as it is, scores a level. Oh, this time Kennedy, well, he was in the middle of the crush, but somehow he got it out to Richards. Couldn't do a lot with it. Boyd, back to the square. And it's still dangerous. Stringer around the corner, and once again it's a snap goal. And it's through. 4-1, but got the handball out. And John, this is where they go to work, and they are very hard to stop. Johannesson punts it in. Stringer and Richards getting nervous. Ted got the first ball in. Stringer, though, loves it on the ground. Richards is a great competitor, but Kramer is going to kick another one.
That's good.
They can't stop them at the moment. He does here.
Oh, no, this could be it.
He's going to get the hit out. Oh,
no.
He hits
advantage.
And it's Cordy that takes it away. And McVeigh, a whiplash there. They're on again, the Dogs. Kramer, he sneaks through, hands it off. Lin John, open goal. It beckons. It wasn't the best looking kick, but hey, it's a sensational result.
Dogs led 31-17 at quarter time. We got off to a great start in the first quarter, and it continued in the second term.
Opportunity presented for Hanbury. It was from Clay Smith, and now Kramer tries to profit for the Dogs, gets it in there, and Boyd, that time he read it well, Jason, to the drop of the ball.
He did.
He's kicked 6 goals, 1 this year, and that looks pretty fine too. The Dogs out to a 20-point lead. Play, Goods, Wood, Roughhead, Hanbury, all doing their best. Flicked out cleverly to Kramer. He tried to wait the ball for Bontempelli. It's hard to affect such things in these conditions. Tippett just goes for home. And finally hits the spot for the Swans. Hurled back to McRae. He's shut down. Advantage affected. And it's Jetta that takes a sharp kick for Buddy Franklin.
I would be furious with Easton Wood if I was Luke Beveridge.
We still had the lead at half-time in wet and rainy conditions at the SCG. The third quarter, well, it started off strongly just like the second.
It's critical and it's caused a goal. Honeychurch. What it's like down there from his point of view.
Well, it's just drizzling constantly. It's settled in now, boys. The conditions are going to be like this for the whole game.
Stringer.
Oh, this could work.
He's invented something, and what an invention it was!
And in step tall.
Henneberry with a little bit of time and space, a real luxury today. Guides the kick effectively. The next one is the interesting one. Rowan, bang, he's out.
Oh, you can't pay 50, can you? Why is that 50?
Make the journey. And he struck it very well. Wow, he's halfway up the goalpost. That's with great authority. Murphy against Bird. Webb against Goods. McVeigh on his own seemingly. Adam Goods, he's back in the team. Surely the veteran strikes. He does. It still means a lot to him. Hobart on the mark. Rampy prepared to kick. Oh, reeled in by Bontempelli. It was a strange decision. He's done it before at critical moments, even in his young career. And here he is on the line again, Marcus Bontempelli. It's close. Well, no, it's not. It's a goal just when the Dogs needed it.
Dogs led at three-quarter time, but the Swans, they got off to a good start in the fourth term. I tell you what, the fourth quarter, it was a beauty.
Beautifully placed onto the left side for Kieran Jack, and he does the rest. He does his best, but Jack tried to come back the other way. McRae's up to the challenge, though. Through, just threading it for Lynjohn. He's ragdoll. Broke even. Smith, that was slick, to Richards. And that's a magnificent kick to Hanbury. And Franklin's deep. He's waiting for the ball to arrive. Talia got help from Fletcher Roberts.
Courageous effort.
Could the Dogs get them on the counter, perhaps?
Have they got the legs to do that?
Looks like it's all manned up behind the ball. So that means they're even numbers here as well. Bontempelli, Kennedy muscles him out of it. Hanbury just eases it into the 50. Adam Goods, Luke Parker. Luke Parker can't get it through. Goods has another crack. They go to ground, hurled out. Harry Cunningham. Harry Cunningham. Mr. C puts it through. And the Swans are in front. Comes through to Lloyd. Stevens tracks it back to the wing. Now Murphy. Again, refuses to be rushed. Wants the best for his team. Makes it hard for the Sydney Swans. It's there up for grabs. Dalhouse conjured something. And it's through.
He's kicked the goal.
Vay, 13 seconds.
Just a foot race.
Oh, it's on. Chase. Chase for your life as hard as you can. The flashpoint 5 seconds out. They'll hang on, the Dogs. They are going to hang on. Mark this date down, Western Bulldogs fans. Saturday, May the 2nd, 2015.
So there you have it. What a win, eh? It was one of those wins that was just so heartwarming. It sent shivers down my spine, I tell you what, because it really just sent the message that we're back. We're in finals contention for season 2015, and even though the controversy of the pre-season has somewhat sparked a little bit of a curtain over the Dogs, and a lot of people were probably tipping us to be bottom four that year. We came out and won against and defeated the 2014 grand finalists, which was such a thrill. The final score, the Swans 10-13-73, defeated by the Western Bulldogs 11-11-77 in one of the great games. Of course, the goal kickers for us, Cramery, Boyd, Bontempelli and Honeychurch kicked 2 each in this game, and then Stringer, Jong and Wood kicked singles in this game. And then the best players for us was Dalhouse, Boyd again, Picken, Murphy and Bontempelli. So what a win, eh? It was so good reliving those highlights, and of course we did it again this year. Of course we've beaten the Swans the last 2 times now, so both at the SCG. So what a win that was. Definitely one of the best wins of the last couple of years. Okay, now of course no football this week, as you all may know, and well, we know that a lot of people don't like this idea that the AFL has brought into 2016, but it's there, it's happening, and you know, we can't dwell on it, we have to accept it. And you know, I liked Lee Matthews saying the other day, you know, let's just give it a chance. You know, it could work. I know, personally, I don't think we should be having a bye. I think we should be getting straight into the finals, but you know, it's there. Let's give it a chance. And there is a little bit happening in this bye period. There is a few things that will keep us somewhat entertained. And it starts on Thursday night with the Virgin Australia 2016 All-Australian Awards. Thursday the 1st of September, live on Fox Footy from 8:30 p.m. We have Marcus Bontempelli and Matthew Boyd in the running to get a place in the squad. They were named in the 40-man squad this week. So let's hope that one of those players can slot in, or both of them. I believe both of them can slot into the All-Australian team. In particular, Marcus Bontempelli, he's had a good year, but Matthew Boyd has too. He's been sensational, and as you saw, he won the leading marks for our club. So that's 8:30 on Fox Footy on Thursday night. I'll be tuning in. I love the All-Australian Awards. It's a very exciting award night, so tune in and watch it, and hopefully Bontempelli and Boyd will slot into the team for us. And then Friday night we have the annual EJ Whittens game, which is going to be starting at 7:50 p.m. at Etihad Stadium, Friday the 2nd of September. Going to be live on 7 and Fox Footy. It's going to be featuring some of the great former AFL players. It's also going to be including some former Dogs in the likes of Brad Johnson, Scott West, Tony Liberatore, Barry Hall. Ackermanis played for the Dogs as well, just to name a few. Gilby's in it as well. It's going to be a great night. I love the EJ Whitten Legends game. It's a good, entertaining sort of game, and it's good to see the former AFL players in action. Of course, it's for a great cause as well. So do tune in on Friday night. If you're going to the match, then do enjoy it. And if you're not going to the match, then do tune in and watch it on Friday night, because it is a bit of fun. It's been quite entertaining in the last couple of years. Saturday night, the 3rd of September at 7:20 p.m, the Western Bulldogs and Melbourne meet in a women's exhibition match, which will be at Whitten Oval. The lights are turning on at Whitten Oval, I think for the first time. I don't think there's been a night game ever at Whitten Oval, so this will be very exciting to see. And you can catch all the action on 7 if you're not going to the match. I'll be tuning into this. I think I'm excited about the women's competition next season. So I think this is going to be a little bit of a preview to what to expect next season. So looking forward to this. I'll watch it on Saturday night, and yeah, hopefully enjoy it. It'll be good to see. And it's at a good destination in Whitten Oval. What a great venue to host this game. So that's Saturday night. That's another thing you can watch during the bye round. And there's also some other events coming up as well. We've got the Rising Star Award winner announced next Tuesday. I'm not sure what time. I think it's on Fox Footy. I'll have to double check that, but it's hard to get that information at the moment. I've been trying to get that information, but haven't yet received it. And of course, next Thursday night, I'll be looking at this match in more depth in next week's episode, but of course it's our elimination final clash v the West Coast Eagles at Domain Stadium in Perth on Thursday the 8th of September, starting at 8:10 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. Of course, it is 2 hours earlier in Perth time. Of course, it's going to be live on 7 and Fox Footy. So looking forward to that. I'll, of course, look a bit more in depth at that match on next week's episode of After the Dogs Roar. And that is it for this episode of After the Dogs Roar for after round 23. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. Of course, don't forget to like, comment and share this video. Subscribe for all the other content I do on this channel. Good luck to the VFL side this week in their qualifying final against Casey. Looking forward to seeing the result of that. Of course, I'll be back with another episode of After the Dogs Roar next week as I preview our first game in the finals. Let's hope we can get a win. So until then, I'm Jacob. Go Dogs. Bye for now.